thank you very much. How lovely to be here. What a privilege to be asked to join you today on the last event of the year. And you know, I want to begin by saying that I didn't get an opportunity to be here last week for the lunchtime event with Donald and Noella and Roisin. But everyone that I spoke to said it was a very memorable, very poignant event. So I would really like to start off today by dedicating this first song to Donald and Noella and Roisin. You know that Songs for the Soul are all of Roy's own compositions, and you know, again, for me, you know, it's a privilege to be invited to sing these songs, and every song has a message, naturally enough, in Mr. Arbuckle's writing. Every song has a message. So this first song is called The Longest Night. In the longest night, in the longest night, a star shines bright. In the longest night,
in the deepest dark, a fire glows. In the frozen heart, there's a folded rose. In the longest night, in the longest night, a star shines bright. In the longest night,
when the night comes down, we turn inside again, and the wheel spins round, and all things must mend.
The wheel spins round, the seasons change, and the frozen ground will bloom again. In the longest night, in the longest night, a star shines bright. In the longest night, the wheel spins round, the seasons change, and the frozen ground will bloom again. In the longest night, in the longest night, a star shines bright. In the longest night, one star shines bright. In the longest night. Thank you. Of course, the longest night's going to be this Sunday. Seasonal. And I sang a song for my wee brother, Jim. My younger and better looking brother. Better footballer.
Could I also dedicate this as well? That's okay,
Sure,
Roy?
I'm going to turn this off. Go ahead.
You know, when I come in today, there was well, everybody's looking well and smiling, and you know, Christmas is upon us, and it's a time of reflection, and I suppose we all bring our own stories to Christmas, but two people I met today were smiling and so happy, Richie and Eliza. Where are you? And I was saying to Richie, you know, what a year this is for you. You turned 30. you get engaged, and you've got your beautiful fiancé here with you for Christmas. Wow. So this is God Smiled When You Were Born, for Jim as well. God smiled when you were born. An angel choir sang a song for you. I tell you now, you're not alone. God smiled when you were born. I know you're heading down a long road, dark dreams and dragons all around. It's a long road for such a little one, making your way through the stony ground. When it seems like the shadow's longer than the light, in the tangled forests of your mind, as you climb each mountain on your way back home, just look around and you will find God smiled when you were born. An angel choir sang a song for you. Tell you now, you're not alone. God smiled when you were born. I know that you will feel the wonder, and I know that you will feel the pain, and I know that you will wander from your path, and I know you'll find your way again. God smiled when you were born. An angel choir sang a song for you. I tell you now, you're not alone. God smiled when you were born. God smiled when you were born. God smiled when you were born. Thank you. Well, I can't tell you what a privilege it is and how delighted I am to be standing here to introduce the wonderful, well, you see, I'm from Moneymore. You knew that, didn't you? I think I've told everybody that often enough. But I'm introducing the wonderful poet from Moneymore, Maura Johnston.
I don't like that sort of build-up, not one wee bit. But thank you very much for asking me here today. It is a pleasure and an honour to be here. I've been to a couple of the Wednesdays, but I can't get to them all. But I know this is coming to the end of your, this is the end of your project, Eamon.
It's the end of Towards Understanding Healing's funding term, but not the end of Towards Understanding Healing.
Okay.
And it's also the Christmas edition of
The Christmas edition.
the Garden Reflection Wednesday lunchtime event.
More to come in the new year.
A few more to come. Well, I'm going to read 3 poems. I've said before and I'll say it again, the nicest phrase you'll ever hear at a poetry reading is, for my last poem, or I will end with. So you'll be able to enjoy yourself.
You're starting with that one?
You'll be able to enjoy yourselves knowing there's only 3. You can count them. Oh, thank God, only 2 more. Right. The first one's a very short, really an observational poem, and I thought it was suitable for this time of year because it first came to me at this time of year, and it's called Tree Music, and I think that explains itself. The flash of ash in this bone-bare winter hedge is in pitch-perfect key. Here birch bark tatters flutter, fan dancers to a ragtime rhythm. Right in the centre, the fairy thorn jigs in time to a wayward wind, and the willow droops, wind-whipped, cross-limbed, swaying in a soft shoe shuffle. And and because of Towards Understanding and Healing, the second poem I have written was for Raymond Murray, who did a lot all during the Troubles to try and keep people aware of what was happening and working for justice right through it. And it's called The Moss Road. And Anne will maybe understand this, or any of you are from the country, but a moss road is one that's built over soft ground and it bounces you up and down as you go along, no matter how well you put the tarmac on it. So it's called The Moss Road. To all appearances, the evening is pleasant, but swallows are skimming low, sign of a sad summer, and under the smooth asphalt we sense things lurk, whitened roots, uneven stones, lacy fossils, bloodied turf, although in the hollows there is space for wonder and for hope. Those who spread the tar, the screenings, who rolled it flat, meant it to last, but didn't understand our moss roads, their ability to offer sudden jolts, tummy bumps, the possibility of rifts and cracks and chasms. All it takes is one strong soul to shout to the winds, to the hungry listeners, and to unpick one corner, leaving the rest to time, to frost, and to the certainty that the swallows will return. And for my last poem, and I'm reading this because it was written for a great friend of mine, a dairyman who died last year and who asked me to write a poem for him before he died. So it's a bit about memories and the past. And it's called As Far As It Goes, for James. In bulk. At the end of this short day, candles come into their own. Steady, slight, they waver only when our stories flare out, and with green rushes underfoot, we'll imagine evening stretching to the farthest shore, and voices chorusing, and we remembering. Baltana. In the hieroglyphs you drew, my name began with an owl and a mouth. I wanted words of wisdom as we sat balancing our days, folding away our memories, linen fresh from the hedge, scented with the whitethorn that ghosts the late spring night. Lunasa. Flames leap, lady assumed into heaven, whatever that means, however she did it, if she did it. Your face in the firelight contorts, and you ask, how will I know I am dead? Samhain. There's a wild wind in the trees tonight, spirits tearing through the mesh of time, freeing us into litanies of being. So put the fat bottle on the table, 3 swallows, a golden glow. We'll have a rosiner before we go. Thank you.
A rosiner? Where'd that come from? Would be about rotting the bowl. I know that. I know. I'm looking at the etymology of the word. Aye, I think we made up song. I want to made up myself. It's only made up. There's a song about me granny. And my granny had a baby, my mother. But she was, as they say, out of wedlock. So she was sent off to Belfast to have the baby, and then she was sent off to Canada. And we never ever saw her. I'm following your footsteps to Canada, flying over the same trail that you left behind so long ago, as the steamships took over from sea. and a smile, and a secret that could not be spoken, of a love child that's so far behind. And I believe in the one heart at the center of all things, where the broken ones come for their cradling, and the old ones still singing our dreams. And you went all the way to Vancouver, and you life and you rainbow's end, and a promise of freedom and plenty, and a secret still safe in your head. I believe in the one heart at the center of all things, where the broken ones come for their cradle, and the old ones still singing our dreams. And your children's children have children now, and maybe they're listening tonight. And there's a space in my heart that stays empty, for the wrong things that never got right. I believe in the one heart at the center of all things, where the broken ones come for their cradling, and the old ones still sing our dreams. I believe in the one heart at the center of all things, where the broken ones come for their cradling, and the old ones still sing our dreams. I'm following your footsteps to Canada. Thank you. Those words, I believe in the one heart at the center of all things, where the broken ones come for their cradling, and the old ones still singing our dreams, weren't written by me at all. They're written by our next poet, John. Come up here, John.
Thank you, Roy, and what a privilege it is to be here, and I hope I can follow what's gone before, because it's a high standard already set. I have 3 poems as well, so don't panic.
We're panicking, John.
Eamon Baker said you've only got 3 and that's it.
I only said that to you.
It all comes out in the wash. I notice lately that most of the poems I write are triggered by the death of people close to me, even though those deaths may have occurred 40 years ago. As a matter of fact, my father died 41 years ago this day week. And 40 years later I wrote this poem. It's called Last Rite. On the morning of my father's death, 2 women came to wash his body, my mother's sisters, climbing the stairs noiselessly as if in step, one behind the other, to where he lay. When they left, I did not hear them go. Something settled in us waiting below, stilled by this ancient rite, from the deep heart of Inishowen, before television or radio made us modern, before roads were tarred or water piped, and the drowned men taken from the sea were washed and waked in the candlelight, in the dark and prayer-filled room. And perhaps over the mantelpiece, 2 women laying Jesus in the tomb. This next poem is about a suffering and a death as well, the death of my cousin Michael Donaghy, who died at the age of 19 in 1965 from a very aggressive bone cancer before the days of palliative medicine. And the doctor who attended him was Tom McGinley. And as a direct result of his experience with Michael, he founded the Foyle Hospice. So this is for Michael. Sorry, just to give another bit of information into this, Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, whom some of you might have known of, author and Jungian therapist, psychotherapist, talked about 4 phases in human development. And the first phase is the physical, where we obviously grow, and these phases are obviously overlapping as well. The second phase, she said, is the emotional. The third phase is intellectual, and the final phase is spiritual. But in cases where a person is suffering from a terminal illness at a young age, the spiritual aspect blossoms, and young people speak like wise old men. And Michael was such a person. You were Socratic, sending away the doctors and the priests dumbfounded. Too much for them, like Jesus writing in the sand, the crowd moving off. Glowing in your agony, fission burning your bones, your cries electric in the aching house, we listeners alive, helpless. You became golden even as your body faded, some seeming contract of give and take in the liminal space between your life and your death. And this final poem is called Credo, which is Latin for I believe. Excuse me. And it reminds me of my old Latin teacher who quoted Horace, a Roman poet, who said, when you write something, put it away for 9 years, and if you still like it, publish it. And this one's been sitting for 28 years, and was published originally by Eamon Dean, a friend and colleague, in the Fingerpost magazine. So 28 years later, I still sort of like it. It's called Credo. And this is, in fact, where Roy's lines come from. I believe in one heart at the center of all things, which the broken ones will find in spite of the corridors of rules, where the frightened ones will seek for cradling, and even the frozen ones sunk in the deep places of the ice. They too will find its meaning down below the nonsense of the world. For though we are an island people in an archipelago of pain, we have come to know that the human heart is her own validation. And you and I are priests ordained by the strange and simple inspiration of life's lovely air. And we have made our prophecy in holy, primitive, pagan Ireland, that though the harvest indeed is great, we the labourers are growing, and we will let no one set a limit to our blossoming. Thank you.
John Donaghy. Well done, John. Only bit of synchronicity there. I didn't know he was going to do that, and he didn't know I was going to do what I did. No, see that? Telepathic.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah, I'll not finish it. Thank you. This is a song called The Gentle Days. So in every culture, the writers, every culture that has suffered whatever, there comes a time when they look back before the trauma, before the occupier, before the earthquake or whatever it was. Back to the gentle days.
All across this land The sun shone warm and beautiful in the gentle day, and the children ran in pastures so plentiful in the gentle day, in the gentle days. My lover's eyes were soft and warm and wonder-filled in the gentle days. He filled my soul, love was sweet and words were wise in the gentle days, in the gentle days.
Came the troubled times, and fear stalked like the hungry wolf, and the children cried, calling all their gods. The people prayed to Providence in the fearful time, in the fearful time. Now my memoried heart sees pastures so plentiful, and the gentle days, and all the dreams we dream are visions of a better place. Come the gentle days, come the gentle days.
Ah, the gentle days. Ah, the gentle days. Ah,
Now my memoried heart
the
sees
gentle
pastures so plentiful,
ah,
and all the dreams we dream
the gentle
are visions of a better place. Come the gentle days,
ah,
come the gentle days,
the gentle days.
come the gentle days. Ah,
the
gentle days. All right. Sure, it is a gentle day today, isn't it? Sure, it worked. That song worked. Another poet. As a poetess, are they all poets nowadays? All poets nowadays, yeah. I used to live in Manchester. Pheme Glass, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. I bought my jumper for today, and I just want to say thank you to all those other people who are wearing their jumpers today, because it makes me feel as if I'm all dressed up. I wanted to read my first poem because I'm wearing my Christmas jumper. I'm going to read Snowballs for you. I have been writing for a number of years, but I happened to get a book published last year, and myself. I paid for it myself. And it was a sort of a lifetime's ambition to get all this in a book. So I hope you enjoy whatever I read. Thank you. It's called Snowballs. We never felt the cold of winter. Our playground just changed colour as we slept, from green to brilliant white. Sleet and snow dripped, then morphed into cold stalactites that slowly thawed, then froze again. We broke them off, pretending they were lollipops, sucking till our mouths and fingers turned purple as we clutched the ice-cold melting sticks between our blue lips. We made snowballs, lining them up behind a wall like soldiers in neat rows, waiting for the unsuspecting targets. Then well-aimed missiles flew through the air as barrage after barrage rained down on the enemy. Battle won, we ran for cover as snowballs aimed at our backs fell short in little plops of frozen dust. Later, clutching sheets of cardboard, our feet breaking puddles of frozen water, we jumped from ditch to ditch, climbing higher, sinking to the waist in the drifts, leaving behind a trail of deep ploughed ridges, our goal an undulating hill of virgin snow. On the ridge, a jostle for the lead, shrill voices gasping white puffs of frozen breath, then down the slope in pure our squeals resounding in the pure cold air, legs and arms akimbo, we plunged inside the deep white blanket, emerging as flushed victorious snowmen, the cardboard sleigh, now soggy to the touch, but worth another go. Just going to change the tempo a wee bit. This is a particular favourite poem of mine. I should have said I'm going to read 3 poems as well. And 2 of them are long, 1 of them short. This one's called The Cat, and I wrote this a number of years ago, and I call it a warning to all you men out there. The cat came into the public house, its black coat white with snow. Where did it come from, someone asked, but nobody seemed to know. A plate of food was quickly brought as its hunger was plain to see. Its bones stuck out on every side. It's a stray, they all agreed. Then slowly and with guarded gait it walked across the floor. It sniffed the air and then the plate as its green eyes watched the door. A silence grew within the room, and the logs on the fire spat. Men cleared their throats and turned their backs to avoid the stare of the cat. The patrons in the public bar crept closer to the snug, and every drinker to a man threw back another slug. Then suddenly the lights went dim, and the latch on the door went slack, and there in the room in the gathering gloom stood a stranger, all dressed in black. The drunk on the stool in the corner sobered up and quivered with fright as the barman bravely stepped forward and offered a cautious good night. The stranger made the barman no answer, but pulled up a stool by the fire. His feet were naked and bloody, and his greatcoat was covered in mire. Suddenly music filled the room, and the stranger doffed his hat, and all eyes turned to the chimney breast where the dark-haired fiddler sat. The music grew with the whirling jig, then slow to a sorrowful tune. The stranger took his seat by the fiddler, and this is the song he crooned. Take my life away from the brain of day, for the love of my life I have lost. Take me far away to the sea so grey, to where the love of my life was tossed. As this haunting tune filled the darkened room, another sound was heard, in a whispered drone that was not his own. The drunk in the corner spoke. I am all of ye, I am what will be, I am the voice of the earth and sky. I caution you of what will be if you cannot tell me why. The cat crept nearer the stranger, purring gently as it covered the space. Then it leapt at his head without warning, its claws digging deep in his face. The whole place went into an uproar. The drinkers looked on with dismay. What happened next is a legend, and will remain so for many a day. The cat was cast into the fire, the cat cast into the fire, filling the air with soot and black smoke. Then out of the flames and the ashes came a maiden in a flowing black coat. She pointed an accusing finger. At the stranger as he stood by the door, her voice sent a chill through the listeners, and fear gripped them down to the core. You can run till your life is over. You can run, but you never can hide. I'll follow you now and forever, till death and the great divide. Beware all ye who would follow this cretin of suffering and woe, for this is the road you will travel, no comfort wherever you go. The man cried out, I am done for she never again will let me rest. Take my soul to hell for the devil, for I am a poor man possessed. Her laugh was the laugh of a banshee, and as her shadow passed out through the door, the madman followed behind her, and they were lost in the ghosts of folklore. Thank you so much. And thank everyone for inviting me here today. It's been phenomenal and lovely, and I'm very, very pleased to have been able to come. My last poem is just a little blessing on you all. Go slowly, breathe deeply of life's pleasures. Fill your mind with stillness, bathe your body with peace. Be gentle with yourself, take small steps. Be patient with the world, it knows the way. You're just passing through. Thank you very much.
Well, as we come towards the end of the Garden of Reflection event, and before we introduce Tracy and Richard for the final song, I just want to thank Susan as well for inviting me here today, along with Roy, because it's just been absolutely lovely to hear everybody and hear the poems, and of course I'm looking forward to hearing Richard and Tracy as well. And I want to thank Mr. Baker especially, because you know, I wouldn't have been singing on Songs for the Soul but for him, so that means that I wouldn't be here today but for him. So Eamon, from me, thank you. You've been a tremendous support to me in singing and other ways as well. I'll not go there. Sorry? You've got to tune up?
No, I've got a tune up for Richard.
Oh, we're having Richard and Tracy, and then we're going to finish off. Oh, Mr. Arbuckle's changing the whole order of things here, but I guess he's allowed to do that.
Unless they finish poem.
So, Richard and Tracy.
Let me tell you, Tracy, you are.
Eamon, maybe you'd like to come up and say something about this song, would you? I think you should. Go ahead, okay. Right. I think you should,
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. What's happened here is that very delightfully, a man called Liam Litvak that Maureen knew, who works at Queen's, suggested that we get involved in a project called Reading and Writing for Peace. And myself and John were facilitators in that process. And out of that emerged all sorts of writing. James is here, he was one of the writers in that group. Maura was part of that group, James. And I wrote these words, which I then gave to Tracy and Richard, and they put this music to it. So the theme is about it's about writing for peace. And the song is called Sweet Angels Sing.
Tune now.
See how it goes.
From the high church of Grannon, the sweet angels sing. Breathe in peace, breathe out love. Breathe in peace, breathe out love. From the bronze nave of our wall, the sweet angels sing. Breathe in love, breathe out peace. Breathe in love, breathe out peace. From the kind heart of our mother, the sweet angels sing. Breathe in peace, breathe out love. Breathe in peace, breathe out love. Peace and love, love and peace. Peace and love, love and peace. The sweet angels sing, sweet angels sing, the sweet angels sing, the sweet angels sing. Love and peace, peace and love, love and peace, peace and love. To you. The sweet angels sing, 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 the sweet angels sing. Sweet angels sing, sweet angels sing, sweet angels sing, sweet angels sing. Thank you.
Don't know. Oops. Richard Laird and Tracy McGrory. Didn't want to say this, but I taught them everything they forgot. They forgot everything I ever taught them.
That was three. That's the first thing you said. It's three.
What do you think?
I think we do know what we're doing. This is our Dalai Lama song.
Aye, do that. You tell them what it does.
See, I get instructions. Tell them. You talk to them. Last year, we got to sing for the Dalai Lama up at St. Joseph's School. And what a great morning that was. And of course, the thing about it was that when we finished singing, we sang a song called Teach Only Love, which we're going to sing for you now. But the Dalai Lama hugged Roy. Nobody else got a hug except him. So then he was sharing the hugs with everybody. But that really
Still
wasn't.
doing it.
Still doing it. But it was lovely. It was such a lovely morning. He's a wonderful human being.
I must say, I didn't know what to do. You know, what you do one of them man jobs, you know. Yeah. Me and you, Dal. I don't know what to do. Teach only love, that's what you are. You're a beautiful dream, you're a bright shining star. Teach only love, that's what you are. That's what you are, that's what you are.
Quietest place, love's what you'll hear in the stillness of space. Listen to love, it's in your heartbeat, it's in your heartbeat, it's in your heartbeat. Love, love, listen to love, 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 listen to love.
See only love in the people you meet. It's there on your doorstep,
it's right up your street.
See only love, love will see you.
Love will see you, say, love will see you.
Love, love, listen to love. Love, love, listen to love. Teach only love, that's what you are. You're a beautiful dream, you're a bright shining star. Teach only love, that's what you are. That's what you are, that's what you are. Love, love, listen to love. Love, love, listen to love. Listen to love, teach only love. Listen to love, teach only love. Listen to love, teach only love. Listen to love, listen to love. Listen to love, listen to love.
least one more, Roy.
Ah.
What do we say? How do we want to leave it?
So Anne doesn't know this one.
Okay. I can sit down.
Right here. Anne Tracey, thank you. Is there any ex-hippies here? Any current hippies? I don't look at you all. Wrote this song, I think it was about 15 years ago, maybe longer. It's all the same to me now. Call him Arbuckle, my soul brother, not my real brother. Phoned me up from Radio Foil and said, write me a song about hippies and Christmas. No bother to me, call him, alright. There's a chorus in the song, which we get to the chorus. You're gonna sing, aren't you? I'm just an old hippie picking on this guitar beside the Christmas tree and the angel and the star, thinking about brotherly love, cosmic vibes, all that stuff. It's JC's birthday and I think I need another puff. Everybody wants to be a hippie at Christmas. Peace and love, goodwill to everyone. Everybody wants to be a hippie at Christmas, but it ain't so hip to be a hippie all year long. So that was the chorus in case you hadn't noticed. Everybody wants to be a hippie at Christmas. Are you with me? Everybody wants to be a hippie at Christmas. Peace and love, goodwill, everyone. Peace and love, goodwill to everyone. Everybody wants. Everybody wants to be a hippie at Christmas. It ain't so hip, but it ain't so hip to be a hippie all year long. I picked a flower and sent it to President Reagan. Said nuclear bombs just make me wanna scream. He said you got some cheek, called me a hippie weirdo freak. Said tell it to the communists cause God is on my team. I was amazed, cause they say that Jesus wore his hair real long, a beard and sandals and sang a hippie song. Let everybody love each other, make your enemy your brother. Peace and love and justice can't be wrong. Everybody wants to be a hippie at Christmas. Peace and love, goodwill to every man. Everybody wants to be a hippie at Christmas, but it ain't so hip to be a hippie all day long. I guess I'll get on back to Colorado, plant some seeds and pick my old guitar. Find me a hippie mate who thinks I'm really great, and we'll make love and let everybody else make war. Everybody wants to be a hippie at Christmas. Peace and love, goodwill towards everyone. Everybody wants to be a hippie at Christmas, but it ain't so hip to be a hippie all year long. Sing it again! Everybody wants to be a hippie at Christmas. Peace and love, goodwill towards everyone. Everybody wants to be a hippie at Christmas, but it ain't so hip to be a hippie all year long. Thank you. Thanks, Anne, Phoebe, Maura, John, Susan.
And Maura and John, that was just lovely, just a lovely, and sorry, and Tracy and Richard, it was just absolutely wonderful. I know, because it was just.
And there's books for sale.
I think it was a lovely way to end the year for the Garden of Reflection in particular. It's been a really, really busy year. We've 6 months left going into the new year, and we've lots of exciting things happening. in January in particular, we're really lucky to have Leila Atshan coming back. If anybody met Leila in September, another opportunity to meet up with her in January. We will have Jazz Dooley coming back to us in March, and we'll have Marco Bogacnik in May, thanks to Roy's persistence. So lots of great things happening here in the Garden of Reflection, and also the garden is well underway, as you can see, and you know, keep an eye on it. It's, you know, the building next door started, so it's all working well, and fingers crossed by the springtime we'll actually have a real garden, and we'll maybe do a couple of gigs out there, you know. So listen, I'm just so pleased that so many people came today and stayed today. It's just brilliant, and all the music and the songs, just everything linked in so well with everything that we do here. You know, people forget, I mean, like Roy said, and Anne said, it is a time of reflection, Christmas time, and it is, you reflect on your life in the last year, and maybe loss and people that you've lost. And it's nice to celebrate all of that as well, and it's nice to celebrate it here, and we're so glad that we're able to do that, and hopefully we'll do it every year. I hope you enjoyed your lunch. There might be some more wee mince pies out there if you want to stay for another one. But listen, that's all I'm going to say. I'll not keep you back any longer. 7th of January, we have Emer O'Callaghan coming for our first event of the new year to talk about her Belfast diary. And Belfast Day is a 1972 teenage diary. So if you get that book for Christmas, you have an opportunity to hear Emer speak about it, and she might even sign your book for you. So there you go. So that's it for today, folks, and happy Christmas and a really happy and prosperous new year for everybody, and we'll see you back in 2015, hopefully, all being well. Thank you.